Yes, hot on the heels of my latest little diatribe about Indy's activities, we're going into Star Trek. Yes, I am multi-talented again. Think. Apparently, a script has been submitted for this Star Trek origin story idea that some pea-brain over there at Bad Robot or something thinks that needs to be told. It's like, this is a script nobody's asked for, nobody wants to see, especially not from these morons who don't know a Turbo Chef from a Tribble really at this point, except what they saw on Memory Alpha. Okay, because again, why did they hire the judge in the first place? He's like, well, I was never a Star Trek fan. Then bye. I'm gonna yell as a Star Trek fan. All right.
I don't need it right now.
It's not for you. Go to the bathroom.
I don't give a shit.
We're live right now. Go. Shut up. Anyway.
Then stop yelling.
Don't tell me how to run my streams, or I'll really start yelling.
Bob, please.
Just get your butt in there. Come on. Anyway. It's like there really isn't a need for an origin story for Star Trek. What do you think this is? The fucking Avengers? I mean, Robert Epperton was saying it's been an ongoing thing, and we already know the story pretty much, okay? Enterprise set it up pretty well, and it was lighting towards Gap we already knew. I mean, the coalition of planets is the new twist on there, but it makes sense because we didn't start off with the Constitution. We started off with the Confederation of States, And when that didn't, they had problems. I think it was after and then we, okay, let's try this again. The same sort of thing. We had a confederation or alliance or whatever the hell they call it, of planets, and you still had your five founding members: Earth, Vulcan, Endor, Telluride, and I think somewhere Alpha Centauri's in there. And okay, after the Romulan War, let's firm things up a bit. Like that's when you start getting the Federation Starfleet, because that was separate fleets. No, we need something a little more centralized for situations like this, that sort of thing. And again, it's an outgrowth of when you had the whole idea of a backstory in canon. Roddenberry set up when he set up he wanted the Enterprise to have some history behind it. It wasn't a brand new ship. And when the studio started screaming for use this pilot we've spent all this money on for something, we spent a lot of money on this, and we having issues that we can't really sell this as a TV movie because you already got a show going with a totally different cast. Figure out something. And that worked in with a scheduling problem because they were having problems. Something happened. I gotta fix something here. Let's see. There you are. I don't know why that got shut off. But the whole concept of a canon was really, the backstory canon was built when they did, when they made the two-parter, The Menagerie. And you started doing, there's a back history here. Kirk was not the original captain. We had Captain Pike, And this ship was at least 13 years back there, and you had the younger Spock and all that stuff. So, and it started building from there. And then further on, we have the tales of the eugenics wars and Colonel Green during that point. So they started fleshing out as you go along. But there's no real singular origin story there, unless you really want to just say, look, you had Enterprise, there's your origin story right there. That's when Earth finally dove in to the interstellar community in a big way and made contact with the Tellurites, with the Andorians, figured out the situation with the Romulans, with the Vulcans better. First started having problems with the Romulans they didn't know about yet, really. They started to. And yes, there is a workaround with it. Well, the ship's cloaking. No, that there's what Balance of Terror was quoting was just general history. General histories are not necessarily going to go into details like, oh, by their ships could cloak, they could go invisible, just like they also didn't go into the fact that they had giant birds painted on them. Okay, like there's a lot of, and it's not necessarily classified at the wazoo, but at World War II, there's stuff they don't teach in school in history. You got to really do a little deep dive to get into stuff like Enigma, Operation. How many people know that the D-Day invasion is Operation Overlord? Or if I say Operation Market Garden, do you know what that is? Have to bring the movie A Bridge Too Far. Oh, that was it. Yeah, that's it. There's a lot of stuff that didn't necessarily brought up in the general history. That's like they're not something they can know on the spot. Like cloaking ships. It's like I mean, even Spock with it's a theoretical possibility, but the power cost would be enormous. Like, well, guess what? It's actually, and probably, oh yeah, if you go a little further in the text, yeah, they did cloak. So it's not necessarily a contradiction. It's because not everything's laid out doesn't mean everything is wrong. Okay, but as opposed to and this is the thing of when you have an established canon, you can figure out workarounds. Even Spock smiling in the cage. And you think you can't write that, because it was also in the menagerie. Okay, they included that. They shouldn't have. If they think of that another couple of days of editing, they probably could, we need to snip that bit. But again, the whole thing was created because they're falling behind schedule. They didn't have to just throw it up there. They only had the more obvious bits, like you get used to a woman on the bridge. That's got to go. But Spock and Pike giggling over a plant, that slipped by. But it's just stuff, and Spock threatening to leave orbit, that's a bit cowardly. Snip that in, and time too, other time considerations. But you can work out workarounds for that, though. Okay, like the thing with Spock smiling, he'd been injured on Rigel 12 during the fighting that they referenced, Rigel 7. Because he's walking around with a limp. Jose's got a bandaged hand. A lot of these guys are previous injuries. So, okay, why is Spock mine? He's doped up on painkillers. He was really screwed up. He was really messed up with in that fight. Okay, they'd even a Vulcan in order to fight had did some space Demerol or whatever. So there are ways around this thing. It's not bound. See, he smiled. Therefore, he's a villain. No. He's injured. He's impaired and is under medical treatment. He can still do his job, but he's got to take some painkillers. That's how you get around that. Okay. The time warp factor. Well, that again, 13 years ago. That's just the parlance of the time. Okay. Don't get too hung up on this. And also, Rob Burnett thing. No, just the two-parter. The original pilot wouldn't count. That's like being kind of pregnant. I'm sorry. It's in there. The pilot is canon, okay? Including Pike's little question. I can't get used to the idea of a woman on the bridge. And number one sitting right there. I'm sorry, Lieutenant. You're different, of course. It's just Pike was a stick in the mud in some ways, okay? Yeah. But I mean, there was another female officer in there. She had no lines, but she was off to the side. But an origin story for Star Trek, like they're treating it like the freaking Marvel universe. It's like we already had an overall Star Trek universe before you idiots came here and said you're going to reinvent the wheel. No, it's not going to take. We liked the way it was before. It was perfectly usable before and perfectly able to be built upon. We don't need your new inferior foundations. The previous one lasted, over 50 years and coming up on 60. These idiots think they're they're gods. No, you're just vandals at this point. Okay.
Oh, fucking hell. Ow.
So I don't know, what the hell is going to happen with this origin story script.
Oh,
And again, you can't really. Enterprise took 4 years to get, and we're just starting to lead up to one. I think next year, the fifth season probably would have led right into the Romulan War.
oh,
We would have seen that refit, with the secondary hull on the NX-01.
oh, God.
But there is no singular origin story for a big sprawling universe like this. So I'm just thinking this has got to be, because paying for script development and just keeping them dangling on the line to to run out of contract, that's cheap, comparatively speaking. Especially when JJ and his bunch spend like drunken sailors on leave with someone's American Express Platinum card. Like these guys, it's cheaper to just string them along for a bit, throw them a few $1,000s to develop shit instead of paying 100-some million for a movie that the track record is not good. Star Trek Beyond bombed. There's no way to put it. It tanked badly at the box office. People were sick of it by that point. And the way it tends to go, it's like the blame in these situations is usually on the previous movie. Into Darkness pissed off that many people. The only way you can show your proper disgust, because you've already paid your ticket, so they got your money. They don't give a shit if you like it or not. But the only way you can really get back at them is with the next movie. Don't go. That's why that's what I'm convinced what happened with Star Trek Nemesis. People were pissed off at what the state of Star Trek was at the time, which was Enterprise and the way they were handling things, and the attitude the producers seemed to have towards the fan base. The only outlet we had was the torpedo Nemesis. Because the fact that it was a bad movie only made things worse. But the fact is that even Star Trek V won the weekend and it came out. And that one was not a good movie. Okay. Even Shatner, that one didn't work. Too many cooks in the kitchen, whatever, but whatever reasons, it just didn't work. Nemesis, other movies changed their premiere dates to avoid conflicting with Nemesis. Because they're going to win the weekend, obviously. They didn't win they gossed out to a Jennifer Lopez romantic comedy. The movie didn't even make 20 million. Damn. The movie didn't even make 20 million that weekend. And for a tentpole movie like a Star Trek film, that is embarrassing. That's why the film franchise sat on the shelf for so many years. Because that's it. People are sick of this shit. No, they were sick of what was going on with Enterprise, and this is the way we responded. That's the thing. They don't really got to look at, hey, Iron, they don't really look into the reasons behind these. They just see response and, oh, well. And that is where, I'll give Campy a half a point. No, there's a broader world involved with these franchises. You can't just look at the box office. You got to look at what's surrounding it. And in Star Trek, you got to look at the fans and the whole Star Trek thing and what's going on. People are screaming what's going on. Prize. We can't really think they're still good season go through. Well, one thing we have a direct response is the movie, the box office receipts on the next movie. And I think the buzz was a little bit off on that movie in the first place. So not a lot of incentive to go out and see it to begin with. But when it came out, it's true. It sucks. And there's, it's like Final Frontier took a while to be declared a bomb. Nemesis was a bomb right out of the gate. That movie, the parlance didn't even open. Like when you lose out to a Jennifer Lopez rom-com, and it's like, now they got so many problems. Chief among them, the director, Stuart Baird, fine editor, but as a director, no. His attitude was he wanted to treat this like this. This was a treat like this is the first Star Trek movie of all time. We're going to start in Patrick Stewart in the commentary without direct saying, you can't do that. This is the 10th movie following two very major cultures. You can't treat this like it's the first one ever. There's too much baggage coming along behind it, you know. Just the fact you had 3 previous Next Generation movies, you got to take that into account. And Baird didn't bother to research anything about it. He just took the script as well. He kept calling, referring to Geordi as an alien, which really did not sit well with LeVar Burton. And it was just, very wrong-headed movie all the way around. It's really, what are you doing? There's kind of lip service about the Prime Directive but then what they do, they go down and they violate it blatantly. Like, should we beam them up? Well, there's an ion storm coming. Well, then beam them up now before the ion storm gets here. Let's get the hell out of here. But then we wouldn't have our dune buggy scene, and Patrick wants his dune buggy scene. He'd become buddies with Ivan Iron Man Stewart with the off-road buggy. No, he wanted to do him. He wanted to do something. That's the reason that there is there. And Patrick Stewart, so wanted to be an action hero. You're in your 60s at this point. No, don't. Okay, please don't. But Insurrection is probably it. Okay. But yeah, it's like as the line back in that episode of Tomorrow with Tom Snyder, and he's got some of the cast there. He's got D. Kelly and Walter Koenig and Jimmy Doohan. And let's see, Harlan Ellison shows up, and I think it's Al Schuster, the early convention guys. D, so you got no from Roddenberry. He would have been there, but he was sick. But he, that at this point they're about ready to start making the movie. As we've got a start date. We don't have a script yet, but on the bright side, a lot of people have scripts and don't have start dates. So it's kind of the real how there are probably more Star Trek movie scripts floating out there, legitimate ones, not just fan creations, but actual script submissions, than there were Star Trek movies. Okay. Just from these morons now, they probably got, a half dozen scripts that would floated up there and shot down. I'd still like to see Quentin Tarantino's idea. I still would love to see that because, it's not such. No, Quentin Tarantino is a #1 geek boy. Okay. When he did that's 2-parter of CSI, he was telling the cast about stuff they'd totally forgotten about with that show. He's a serious nerd boy. And I am convinced that a Star Trek movie from Quentin Tarantino, it would be. I don't think it would necessarily be profane because I think he want the option. He wouldn't want the restriction. You got to be PG-13 at most. If he wanted to go R-rated, he want the option to go R-rated. I don't think he necessarily would, but he would like that freedom to have if he had to. He felt he had to, but it would possibly be very profane, bloodily violent, but would probably be so canon adherent that I could put it in the concordance with total confidence. Okay. It would be like, like if they were to hire me as a technical advisor on this film, I think no, that's fine. Change it, thing, but it should be 2 straight or a couple of things. This guy was lieutenant commander on time, but otherwise it'd be minor stuff because otherwise Tarantino would be, so canon compliant, it'd be silly. Because one of the things he said he would deal with the Chris Pine timeline, not comply with it. He would, the exact words, he would deal with it. He didn't like it. JJ didn't care. Said, no, you change it, go for it. Yeah. He doesn't understand himself. But that would, and I think the whole point, he would have gotten Shatner in there because it would have been a big thing. He would have gotten whoever surviving left, and at this point, it would have been just Shatner, Koenig, and Takei. How well they could have all behaved each other on set, I don't know, but it would have been interesting. But he definitely would have gone for Shatner because that was the thing that drew him with Star Trek. It was not just Star Trek, but also with Bill Shatner. He was a big fan of. It still is. But hey, Charlie. But yeah, there's plenty of scripts out there, so it's not timed up. Oh my God, there's been scripts before. They've had directors signed on. They took so damn long they went up and found other jobs. This one, they haven't got a. They didn't even have a director. They got a script. Big freaking whoopee. Having a script means nothing. It means you had time to type one out and have an agent. Okay. But it hasn't been greenlit. It still has to be approved by the studio. And Paramount is still in the middle of an ownership change to an owner that does not like Alex Kurtzman. Does not like the direction he's taken Star Trek in. Doesn't like working with him because of the way he operates. So, and this is still a JJ thing, which means Kurtzman's going to be along for the ride, which means no. They didn't like the way the Star Trek Academy thing was announced. It's like, it's a business thing, so they probably would have gone along with it. And it's still only 20 episodes. So it's really kind of it's 2 seasons. It's 20 episodes. That's not even, that's like 2/3 of a normal season back in the old days. It's like it wasn't that many years ago. A normal season of television was close to 30 episodes. Usually 20, 26, 27, 20, It's dropped back a little bit. Like the first season of the original series was 29 episodes. And even up through Enterprise, they're still doing over 20 episodes a season. That's one remarkable thing about Prodigy. They're doing 20 episodes a season. And that's also a thing that I am so irritated with Bob Picardo and his political hot takes. That's why I have not gotten around to watching this latest season of Prodigy, because I'm so irritated with him. That's what we need to realize, and why probably social media is probably a very big mistake. Tim Russ is going on some unhinged, wall-eyed fits about, what the dumb fucking thing. Tim, you really want to fucking screw your career here? You are insulting easily half of your fan base when you go on these stupid fits. Same with you, Picardo. That thing, I still need to go around and doing that case for conservative Trekkies, video, because the one I did before from a bunch of years ago, which actually was done over the Starbucks, just kind of over that way, a few blocks over. I need to do something a little more structured, though. It's, probably jot down some notes here, but people think, the liberal show. It was liberal in the dictionary definition of the word, in favor of more freedom, less restriction type of thing. Let people be themselves. Don't get in their lives. Not the current definition. In fact, I didn't even call the left liberals because of that. They're leftists. They're crazies. Okay? They're fascists. Look up the definition of it. That's what they are. Government domination and control of everything and everyone. How to speak, how to work, what you can charge it. That's fascism. Throwing your political opponents in prison is fascism. Comes from the fascist thing. Again, it's from the Italians. Mussolini has introduced the thing. The big bundle of sticks with an axe blade. That's a fascia. The weapon. It's still in some of the government things, but it's basically kind of it's a form of totalitarianism, although it's kind of by committee, and sort of behind the scenes. You still have companies, but they do the bidding of the higher ups. And you're a fascist. No, look at the record. Your guy's the fascist, okay? And unfortunately, you do that tag. It's just like, I know you are, but what am I? It's like, it just sounds so, but it's like, no, that's the fact. But that's going to the weeds. All right. So I think we've exhausted that topic. I think it's going to time to divert into some Fortnite here. So I'm going to go ahead and move this over to the other screen here so I can get the game up. But yeah, if you want further commentary, kids, feel free to jump in. We got a few people in chat. Let's go get that up there. I'm going to go with that and also get that off the screen.
You done?
But no, I'm still streaming. Shifting into Fortnite. But as we wait for the game to come up, and again, not just for the live people, this applies to people watching in reruns too, because there are links in the description for all the various chat and support things. PayPal's the best one because it comes all to me. Nobody gets a bite out of it. But we're still working our way out of a hole financially. And technically, because, the van is not coming back to life anytime. I mean, the engine's fine, but the transmission is gone. So it's just a big paperweight out there now. Although my FICA score at the bank is picking up. It's at 699 now. So hopefully soon I'll be able to translate that into a small bank loan and nuke the situation from orbit, And unfortunately, the Ford Fusion I was watching for a while locally got sold, but they have a Ford Escort. No, not Escort. Escape. That actually, $2,000 cheaper than the Fusion, but it's still there. Need to check it out. And also, if I still want to go with the Fusion, there's some others around the same price around town. So it's a kind of a waiting game type thing. I might try in a few days because the bank is a little leery about giving loans to people with overdrafts. So I got to wait till I get paid on Thursday, at least to cover that. Now I have added more games to the library, so if you want to try the whole thing of different games sometime. Like I might give Star Wars Squadrons a try. Fired that one up, got it installed and all stuff, but hoping I was gonna be able to use my flight stick with that, but no, it didn't even. No, just it's strictly keyboard, and that makes things a bit problematic. Keyboard, mouse. And in the case, I'm gonna go and just skip the storyline thing and just go straight into it because the storyline when they stick you on being a TIE pilot, a TIE fighter pilot for the Empire. It's like hunting down survivors of Alderaan. It's like that's kind of sleazy. The squadron leader has also got his misgivings. He doesn't feel right about that, but they're not refugees, they're terrorists. They're rebel scum. Hunt them down. Okay. Even cranking up the mouse sensitivity, it still handles like a pig, which is not supposed to be the idea of a TIE fighter. But see if anybody else comes traipsing on in. All right, when it does this. And at some point, this thing's going to finally load. Yes, we're going with Indiana Jones here. I mean, what better to follow the premiere of a video about Indy than the game with Indy? Yeah. She was actually, the general named after Indiana Jones. At least that was the original theory, but the mom shot him. We're not naming the kid after the dog. So okay. The case of in that area particularly, the word indigo is everywhere on buildings and neighborhoods and valleys or whatever. So okay, how about indigo? All right, fine, we'll go with that, and then still get the nickname Indy. So that's what it's really after. You want to be able to say Indy. However, I think part right now is like, let me get off the screen for a bit. This part here, because I did get a few bucks for doing a survey, so I think we can actually pull the trigger on this. I think the point's been made. And I've also got a $1.08 off for Epic Rewards, so I can apply that. See if this thing will ever respond. There we go. Here we go again. Got to swap back and forth on which, you want this PayPal link or that PayPal link? They go to the same account. What the hell are they doing? All right, let's go back in. Hold on. That didn't. Hold on, you swine. Come on, get back here. I don't know why it's doing this where it's like it drops down like that, but all right, so we got that. So let's go ahead and get that. All right. So let's claim everything here. Get that. In here. All right. Okay, let's go through and get all of the V-Bucks first. Okay, we still got 136 to go here. No, no. Gotta fix that in a minute. All right. All right, let's get back down here. Gotta claim everything first. Got a goopy. All right. And that. Let's see. All right. Yeah. The only skin I'm concerned about, frankly. I mean, even then, only just. Yeah. Okay, and with that, we can move on to the bonus rewards. I did claim all the past battle. What the hell? The hell did I miss? Ow. Missed a few. Up, and I'm below. So I got 2 more to do here. Got everything else, but yeah. So 1 more, and then that's 9. So okay. So nothing else. So, you know. Oh yeah. Then I got all these. All right. Let's get on in it. And right there, I'm back to 900.
You're done?
No, I'm not done.
Then what's going on?
Setting up here. God. What's your damn hurry?
I thought you were finished recording.
I'm not recording. I'm live.
Oh, fucking hell.
God. This is why you're not, usually a part of these things.
Bob,
What?
stop being such an asshole.
This is what I got to live with. All right. Okay, any day now. All right. That was close. All right. Okay. I'm serious, really, to get a lot of memories of everything that has happened in this area and all the stuff that's going to be coming up soon. If they follow through a lot, you know, they were going to follow this out there. Hey, look, a wicker man. Yeah. The bees, not the bees. Okay, can I move now? Thank you. All right. I've seen that before. Okay. Okay, it's gonna be one of those nights. Even dropping the res down didn't help me. Right. I think I need to open up some cut. Definitely not collecting weapons. All right. All right. Let's check out the house. We have someone else here. Okay. All right. Now, again, I don't like the burst. Okay. I like being able to sustain fire on the targets. And also, the whole reason for the development of the burst was because troops were getting trigger happy. They were emptying their entire magazines and then hitting the damn thing. It was a way to kind of encourage you to plan your shots out a little better, guys. All right. Oh, the stairs right there. Stink bomb me? I don't think so. All right, where's the kitchen? Whoop. Whoa, hold on. There we go. And somebody came screeching up here. Hold on. All right. Let me give it a hidey hole here and let you in. And crouch down and come on. All right. There we go.
There we go. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
How's everybody? How you doing?
Well, I figured what follow up a premiere video about Indy, then a game with Indy.
I'm watching.
Mhm.
I saw the news about the new Star Trek movie. Wow, I can't wait to
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
This one that was out last year was just so great. I can't wait to see the next one.
I seriously would like to see Quentin Tarantino get a shot here.
At this point, why the hell not?
Yeah.
I mean, really, why not?
I think, at the very least, it would be well, at least it's not JJ, okay? Let's give it that much, okay? It would definitely be a change, and someone who actually enjoys the franchise, okay? Who actually is a Star Trek fan.
I would. Oh God, you know what? That's a great point. You really have to love Star Trek. No, not so much really love Star Trek. You got to understand Star Trek.
Yeah. And Tarantino's, a number one fanboy, okay? He is a serious geek,
And I would have never pegged him for a Star Trek fan.
Oh, what? Yeah. Yeah, dang it.
But
ow! Of course, it's got Snoop with it.
I was like that story Robert Meyer Burnett tells about Nicholas Meyer. Wasn't familiar with Star Trek, but he went and he did his He went and did his due diligence. Okay, I get it. It's Horatio Hornblower in space.
Yeah. Now, granted, back then it was only 79 episodes of one movie.
Yeah.
I don't think they even included the animators at that point. Although, we haven't. Okay, I gotta fix this thing because it wouldn't be just one loading screen.
So I got some news about a certain somebody.
Oh, okay.
About a certain diagnoses.
Alrighty.
It has not spread to her bones or pelvic region.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, that's good. So that's good news.
Get it while it hasn't spread anywhere. They localize and There we go. That's what I want.
So, and I'm dealing with a bad hot water heater over here. It's leaking all over the place.
Okay, let's hit that spot first because it's Not listed on the map as anything. So.
My brother's got a guy coming to tomorrow. He's got a new water heater coming. He's got and he knows a guy. Everybody knows a guy.
Yeah. Of course, one thing we learned from Mythbusters: don't plug up that pipe.
No.
It's there for a reason.
Exactly.
So well, the biggest. Well, we didn't turn into an ICBM coming out of your roof. Oof. That was spectacular.
My father wanted to. He goes, "Put a plug on there." I'm like, no. I'm like, Dad, no, it's okay. Put a plug on it. No, Dad, it's not a good idea. It's there for a reason.
It's a pressure relief. Okay.
Yeah. That's where it's leaking out of the purge valve. So the housing around the purge valve is leaking.
I'd probably go with one of those tankless water heaters they got nowadays.
Actually, you know what? I suggested that.
Yeah.
Tankless water heater.
Although there is the thing is that, well, if the water goes out, there's your emergency water supply right there.
Yeah.
So it depends on what your situation is. If that is a consideration,
Yeah.
All right, where are we coming in from? Oh, right over. Nope. Yeah, there we are. Here, so. Thanks, address driver.
I got the Nixon in another window here. Yeah, they're still in. Are you a basketball fan at all?
Vaguely, I mean, kind of.
Okay,
when the Nuggets are doing good, it kind of had to be. So, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm trying not to bore you with a lot of details.
No, I know enough to follow.
The league, nobody plays defense in this league anymore. They changed the rules a couple of years ago to allow for more floor spacing. Now everybody just launches 3-pointers.
Jeez.
Nobody plays defense. They legalize the zone. I'm like, these are supposed to be the best players in the world. Make them play man to man. It was good for how long? It was good for how long? Now all of a sudden, oh no, they can't play man to man anymore.
How did I survive that?
God, I just keep thinking back to the 90s. Yeah, most of these guys playing now would never last against those tough Oakley or Lambeer defenses.
There was a documentary about the Harlem Globetrotters.
Oh yeah.
Early on, before they really became but they've always had that kind of showboat on them. But they were back when the NBA was still largely white guys. There were times where they would, we're going to do a serious game. Okay. We're going to do a real game against you guys, and they would kick the living shit out of some team.
Oh, they were good. They were good.
Yeah,
players.
They were damn good players. Yeah, they weren't just, Oh, jeez.
There's always those great stories about how they would go to I can't remember where, Romania to play, and they had and the court was a bunch of tables nailed together. There's a great documentary, actually. It was on HBO called Loose Balls, about the ABA.
Yeah.
And when the league started having money troubles, one of the team, I can't remember which team it was, but the bank came to repossess the uniforms.
Ooh, that's bad.
And the coach told him, he goes, listen, get dressed at the hotel, get off the bus, go right onto the floor.
Yeah.
And they showed up, we need to repossess the uniforms. Well, they're out there wearing them now. They're
kind of using them at the moment. Yeah,
you can't take them off their backs.
Some beggars that watch us. Just wait till halftime comes around. Yeah, they'll be going out in their underwear for the second half. I need some heels, and I need them now.
They make
shields.
They make a big deal about all the European players are all doing. So the rest of the world is caught up to the NBA. I'm like, no, the rest of the world hasn't caught up to the NBA. The league has gotten a lot worse.
Yeah. I remember the big thing with the Olympic Dream Teams. I mean, that was only because they wanted the NBA players.
Yeah.
and predictable results. So we ended up kicking their ass at 6 race from Tuesday, but they had fun.
Oh God!
And we got a few NBA players out of that. Yeah.
There were times the ball didn't touch the floor going down court.
The only challenge they really had was Lithuania.
I think they lost.
They swept everything. But the only challenge they had was Lithuania. Well, Lithuania
made it close. Lithuania only lost by 40 points.
Yeah, whereas everyone else is like. Okay. Can't get healed. At least get shielded up.
But they make a big deal about the European system. Like the European system is just a Don Nelson motion offense that was played in the 90s. But nobody plays man to man anymore.
Okay, I need to find a campfire at least. Whoop! Well, that didn't work. Okay. All right, I was going to Pleasant Park. Hold on.
Anyway, but back to Star Trek. They keep wanting to do this prequel movie.
Yeah, it's like I want to see how it all began. We saw how it all began with Enterprise.
We know
Where the hell were you?
We know how it begins.
Yeah. We got names and dates and everything, okay? Come on, hold that pose. No, get that off. I got monetization problems as it is. I don't even add to it, okay? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so...
Okay.
Simon Kinberg is supposed to be attached to this Star Trek
movie. He's kind of a mixed bag, okay?
I can't see him doing anything good with it.
No.
That's the big problem.
Yeah. Because he's been attached to some good films, but he's also been attached to some horrible ones. So it's like...
Well, he had the opportunity to blame the fans for Fantastic Four, but he did not. So at least there was that.
Yeah, no, he left that to the idiot director. Actually, blame the studio. No, Josh, you did a very bad movie. Okay, just admit it.
Hey, we made a bad movie. Hey, you know what? Everybody worked hard on. There's a way to say you made a bad movie without saying you made a bad movie. Hey, everybody worked really hard on this. You know, we put a lot of time and effort into it. But you know what? Maybe it didn't. But a lot of times things don't turn out the way you'd like them to. See, that's not blaming anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have done things differently, but we did a lot of we worked hard, and I'm very proud of the result. Okay.
Yeah, it's like
I'm very not proud of the result. I'm very proud of everyone doing their part.
Everyone's effort. Yeah.
Everyone's effort. That's how you say that.
And that's how you don't torpedo your entire career. Because now they're going to do that. Well, and we were looking at you. Actually, they were looking at for a Star Wars film.
Josh Trank.
Yeah.
He was supposed to make Boba Fett.
And it's like, not happening. Like, this is what happens when you don't get your way. Fuck you. When they're still willing to fire people on this thing.
The first person ever to block me on Twitter was a guy named Jeff Snyder. Now, if you don't know him, he's one of those guys that he's an industry reporter, or he's a writer or something like that. But what he would do would be he would deliberately report something with racial overtones to get a lot of clicks and to get a lot of followers on Twitter. And then he would accuse everybody of being racist. And then he said, oh, there's a 95% chance that Peter Parker's not going to be white in this new movie. I'm like, oh, he looks pretty pasty to me.
Yeah.
But he went with the rumor that Boba Fett was going to be played by Michael B. Jordan. And it turns out I think he's friends with him. I'm like, and it turned out, and as it happened, that rumor was 6 months old, and he just recirculated it. And I reminded him, hey, this rumor is 6 months old, man. I mean, what are you doing? You're reporting this as a 6 months old rumor as news. I am not reporting a 6 month old. Goodbye, adios.
This may just be pop culture stuff, but it's still journalism. Okay, there's still some standards to maintain.
Yeah. So, but he gets fired from every job he's ever had. So he's gotten fired from every single website. So
impressive resume if you've only been around longer than 6 months. Yeah. Otherwise, you can't hold a job.
he's always like playing the.
I am not
racist. I'm a Jew with a black girlfriend. I am not. There's no way I could be racist. I'm like, you can still be racist.
Yeah, methinks the gentleman doth protest a bit too much. Yeah. All right, let's start with a shotgun. Let's make it a better one.
One of the things is like, how many followers does somebody like that get on Twitter, just like for saying something controversial, and how many people forget to unfollow him?
Yeah.
Because
I don't know how many things I'm subscribed to, but it's like I haven't checked this channel out in forever.
Yeah. I just subscribe to channels so I can find them again.
Yeah. That's the sort of thing of why periodically people lose subscribers. That's what YouTube's going. They're going through and clearing out dead subscriptions. And most people never notice it because they never check that channel out again.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good observation.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I do fall into the trap of, like there was this one girl who works on guitar stuff named Isabel. And I was like, oh, she's cute. I'll follow her.
Yeah. I feel like that. Yeah.
I write my own music. I'm like, it's pretty bad, but you're just so darn cute. I'll give it a pass.
Okay.
Yeah, she's from like Seattle or something.
Oh yeah.
Well, she makes no bones, but she makes no secret. She's from Seattle, so
yeah. Well, Seattle's a big town. So, yeah.
I'm not doxing anybody by saying that.
No.
They always remind people, oh well, they dox me. I'm like, you do realize there's still a thing called the phone book.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people aren't in it now because they abandoned landlines.
But... Yeah. Oh, hello.
Back in the day, they used to publish your name and address in the phone book.
Yeah.
You could request for it to be unlisted.
Yeah. There we go. As much as I bitch about being third party, it's like it is a useful tactic. So guess what?
Yeah. I rewatched Balance of Terror last night.
Yeah.
That's actually so good. So good.
You ever seen the movie it was based on?
Run Silent, Run Deep. I don't.
No, actually, it's The Enemy Below.
Okay, The Enemy Below.
Robert Mitchum and Carl Jurgens.
I have not.
It's also a good one. A U.S. destroyer captain, and I probably use a little Red Silent Run Deep in there too. You don't want to use just one source because
We've delivered. This is the way it's always been, but must it be this way? Mark Leonard is actually very good.
Oh God, yeah.
Now, what happened to that ship prop? I mean, the Romulan bird of prey.
Well, sadly, there was some issues with Payne Hua Chang. They wouldn't let him in the prop making union.
Okay.
Then on the fact he actually won the awards. He was part of he kind of shared an Academy Award for a George Powell movie. But racism was still a big thing, and they wouldn't let him in the union, so they couldn't pay him on the for designing stuff. So they had to pay him kind of on this stuff he had on hand. We're just renting it from him. He already had this on hand, really. Truly.
So he took it with him.
Well, basically, the studio was still giving him crap, and they finally the point where they just refused to pay him. The studio refused, so he took the Romulan ship out and smashed it up with an axe.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's tragic.
He was just pissed. That's it. That's a key reason of why. Whenever you saw it again, it was either stock footage from Balance of Terror, or when the Enterprise incident happened, it was suddenly the Klingon ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was the first time it appeared on screen, was an Enterprise incident as a Romulan ship.
That's the Enterprise incident. That was the one where the Romulan lady captain wanted to get freaky with Spock.
Yeah.
She wanted to pon far all night long.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, I need. Okay, level it one more time. I got it. Yeah.
Let me see.
It was basically the inspiration was kind of the Pueblo incident.
Yeah.
You heard about that one.
Oh yeah, and then the ship was captured by North Korea. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a real good TV. ABC did a kind of play of that. Back. Hal Holbrook played the captain of that ship, and it's like it's a gut punch. Reviewing, but it was basically kind of based on that. But it was, I think Dorothy Van. It was basically they're doing a Mission Impossible. Yeah.
Joanne Linville, who was the captain.
Yeah.
Was she married to Larry Linville?
I don't think so.
Spouse? No, Mark Rydell.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually in Star Trek Continues, the gal in the last two-part episode, they bring back the Romulan commander. The gal playing the Romulan commander is her daughter.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
I've only watched a few episodes of Star Trek Continues, but it's really good.
Yeah, definitely watch it. It fills in the gap between like the last bit, right up to the motion picture.
It's season 4, really. It's really.
I consider season 5. I do the animated series season 4, and then this is season 5. But they did her in full makeup, full costume makeup, sent pictures back to her brother, and he came back. Why are you sending me pictures of mom?
Oh, jeez! Oh, wow.
So yeah, I mean, she comes on screen. Oh my God, it's her! So,
Oh my God, there's a picture. I just found a picture of her. Holy crap!
Oh yeah, and she delivered on the part too. We also finally get a name for her too. I think Charvanek is the name, but when that's a surname or what. But let's see, where are we gonna go here? Because we got a 39 times.
Well, more good news. My back is starting to feel better. I think I told you that. I don't know why I hurt. I don't know how I hurt my back playing Grand Theft Auto, but I did.
Yeah. Okay, I got a fancy where?
Tylenol and a heating pad.
Yeah, let's just get in there.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Star Trek. That's one.
So part of the mission statement of Continues was to finish out the 5-year mission and explain why these characters were where we found them in the motion picture.
Yeah.
Why is Kirk has that attitude? Why is Spock back on Vulcan? What the hell's McCoy's deal?
Yeah, McCoy was enjoying a full 70s swinger lifestyle back in the 23rd century.
I think Dee Kelly's idea was that he'd become a veterinarian. I mean, you're not dealing with any tired of people for a while, so
yeah,
he became a vet.
I didn't volunteer. I was drafted.
I would love to hear the original dialogue of that, because you could tell just with that snippet on the transporter pad, "Your fear, I'm from Nagora." You could tell he was probably delivering a lot more nasty before they dubbed it. They niced it up to it. No, they practically came to blows in Obsession. Come on,
When I was a kid, there was still a local program. Wonderama was still a local program. It became Kids Are People too later on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I remember DeForest Kelley was a guest on it. And they actually beamed him in. They did like the special effect. They beamed him in. There's no video of that. I can't find the.
Probably rolled his eyes at that. Okay, fine.
All right, fine. It's for the kids.
Yeah.
And he had a model of the Enterprise, and he was explaining what each section does.
Yeah.
It was actually really cool, though.
I can run that tomorrow show episode afterwards. If I ran it now, it'd be copyright claim, but. But it's actually a repeat. It's a bit, but they were sitting around talking about, so, and it hadn't been, it's only talking like 76, 77, or, what. I mean, Jimmy Doohan still got a full beard, And they talk, and then they asked, is it getting a little tiring doing this convention? Yeah, it is getting a little tired, getting a little old, but hey, like the fans are great, but they can be grating after a while. It's like,
yeah.
How many times are you going to answer the same question 15 times? What was it like?
Oh God, yeah. No, the Black Friday deals are starting to roll in.
Oh,
I came Multimedia's. Well, they make music software.
Mm-hmm.
But the big problem, they're having a big Black Friday deal. But the problem is they're designed for Apple. They're really designed for Mac OS. The Windows stuff they have doesn't work very well.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get the damn burst rifle. I don't like the burst rifle, but I'll get it. Here. You're supposed to get shields here. It would help if there were shields to be had. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Dumbass, you picked it up yourself. What? There. That takes care of that. Okay. Dummy. All right.
Brother. Freaking the NBA is still in this they still want to do this in-season tournament. I'm like, this is pointless.
The hell?
Well, you know what it is? They're priming the audience for a Vegas expansion because the final is held at T-Mobile Arena.
Uh-huh.
So that's partly what it is.
Okay, someone's already been through here. I think if I was still running Batman, I might get the grapple gun. I don't know. Actually, why not? Because one of the things I do when I run, I try to maintain some integrity with whatever character skin I'm running. Just kind of a little extra thing to the gameplay. And actually, and he swings around a lot. Okay. That's not out of line for him. I already got the first one. You can run through the trailer park. Replace a few guns here. All right, that. All right, one down. Next door. Oh, there's one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Hi there. Okay.
Yeah, so like I said, so we got a little bit of good news. I got a little bit. So that was a little
Yeah,
bit of good.
that's good. Yeah,
the good news. Yeah. So
right.
at least there's that.
Yeah.
The last thing you said it. The last thing you want to do is give it a head start.
No, then you'll get it. The proper response is the Barney 5 thing. Nip it in the bud. You gotta nip it, bud. You gotta nip it, Edge. Nip it, nip it, nip it.
Edge gotta nip it in the bud. Nip it, nip it, nip it.
You don't let this thing take root there. You gotta get it.
Don't let this thing take root. I do a terrible Barney 5.
Yeah. Good. You work with a guy at Conoco. He could do a perfect. That's where I got that thing from him. He had a perfect Barney 5. Doing the training on the computerized. This ain't like thing up in Mountain Pilot. Now this is a little more basic, but I don't think I'll be able to hang out here much because that storm is not that far away. Well, these guys are out there killing each other. I'm getting loot. There we go. Do I want to stick with the drum gun? Or, yeah, a little better control. A little more punch. Hi. And more people who can't shoot. What else do you? Come on.
Yeah. So how do you think the new Indiana Jones game is going to be?
I don't know. Okay.
Well, it's being worked on by that Sweet Baby Inc. company.
So it's going to suck.
Well, they are not a game development company. They are running a protection racket.
No, pretty much, yeah.
That's
about what it amounts to, yeah.
Have a coffee with your team and terrify them what might happen if they don't hire us. I'm like, that's a protection racket.
Yeah, you got a great company. Be same if something happened to it, motherfucker.
Hey, nice place you got here. Be real shame. Hey. Yeah, a lot of things could happen. Could burn down, Somebody gets careless in the basement with a can of gasoline.
Yeah, you don't want something happening in your pipes or something, Or say somebody plugs up your water heater and suddenly becomes a missile shooting at the roof. That's a bad thing. I normally don't advocate this kind of tactic, but I'm in a hurry. So. Okay, this generally has some good loot in here. And no one's gotten to it yet. All right. We're stuck with a shotgun. At least get a better one. And let's. And I've already got one.
Somebody just floated Deion Sanders for coaching the New York Giants. I'm like, I don't want Deion Sanders anywhere near the tri-state area. Okay?
No. Let's keep him here. Okay, he seems to be doing a good job with CU, isn't he? It's not. We have a history of getting some very dumb coaches. I'd like to let's hold on to a good one for a while. Okay. least I assume I don't really follow CU that much, but you know.
Well, he's not going to go anywhere where he won't be the focus of all the attention.
And while he's here, he's he's very very much a big fish in a somewhat small pond. You know, so.
Well, right now Colorado's 5-1.
Well, there you go. All right.
BYU's at the top of the conference.
Yeah.
That's 6-0. Arizona State's 4-2. Iowa State's 4-2. Just for a little perspective, Oklahoma State's at the bottom at 0-7. He's 7-2 overall.
Mm-hmm. Damn it! When that happens.
Over 2 seasons, Colorado's 11-10 with Deion Sanders.
Well, there we go.
I mean, so anybody can have a down year. I acknowledge that.
Yeah.
But, give him a couple more seasons.
It's kind of a rebuilding situation anyway.
Yeah.
Is that a tac shotgun? There you are. Come on, little xenomorph. Where are you?
Besides, the New York Giants as an organization are very conservative. They're not going to hire Deion Sanders.
Did you just blow yourself up, you dumbass? He blew himself up.
Oh, dumbass. Oh, I got a little water damage on my Monty Python box set.
Oh.
Well, fortunately it's coated in wax, believe it or not.
But...
So it was waterproofed. It didn't get the discs wet.
So Chato did a real good review of Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything from Chato in a while.
Yeah, it came up a couple days ago, I think it was,
They are God. Mm-hmm. They all met at Oxford. Which is
half from Oxford, half from Cambridge.
Okay, Oxford came. Okay, Oxford.
Yeah. Cleason, he came from Cambridge.
I said to my brother, I said, "Oh my God, could you imagine those guys? What they were like in college?" He goes, "No." He goes, "British colleges back then were really rigid."
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's probably why they're so funny. they needed an outlet.
Yeah.
See, I was in an improv group. I would like to try like an actual sketch comedy group.
Mm-hmm.
That would be I think that would be fun.
I remember seeing some kind of, I forget what exactly it was, but British comedy, but talking about. But at one point, I think David Jason was hosting it, and he sitting down with Michael Palin because they had done a show together pre-Python. It was definitely a children's show, but it was fun. And then Jason, David Jason was a little bit irritated. He wasn't invited to become one of the Python troupe. But it's like our emphasis was to do writers, and David Jason's not a writer. But there was a thing. But they showed one of these sketches of how to fall down, and it's also and Palin doing his smirky little host thing while David Jason's just propping whoop bam whoop and say, well, it did set you up for doing the greatest pratfall in British television history, and they cut to his thing in Only Fools and Horses where he just the scene is in a bar and with a friend triggers psycho trigger, and but to lean on the bar, not seeing that the bartender had flipped up part of it, and so just right down to the ground. I think it's considered one of the greatest moments in British TV history, where it just goes slump. I'm about to die.
God, other kids were watching. I don't know what they were watching. When I was a kid, I was watching Monty Python because I had two older brothers. I had three older brothers. So I got to see all this great stuff, this Monty Python and Woody Allen movies.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, he even cites Woody Allen as an example of, because juxtaposition was a big thing. Because he does really not just a review, but also kind of a TED talk on how to do comedy. Because so many people don't know how to do it anymore. And also, the basic environment that Python came into. I'm talking about other shows that were, because Benny Hill was around the same time, but that's just slapstick. And okay.
Well, that was one of the things I wanted to do when I was with the improv group. I wanted to, because we were starting to branch out into short films. I said, he goes, do you have any ideas? I said, well, I'd like to do a tribute to Benny Hill with if some of the ladies in the group would be. It would be amenable to that. Yeah. Oh, well, nobody really knows what Benny Hill is. I'm like, yeah, but it's still funny.
Good crap. The cable system, when I was in college in '83, had WOR on it.
Oh, from New Jersey.
Yeah, and they had Benny Hill. Okay, so it's like, yeah. How do you not know Benny Hill? What the hell's wrong with you, Neanderthal?
It was WOR was a superstation at the time.
You're catching a few things off of that. But Benny Hill was definitely one of them. Okay, what do we got weekly quest here?
There used to be, and WOR used to carry Saturday nights at 11, 10:30 or 11. Saturday. I remember Saturday nights. I used to watch it before Saturday Night Live. The Paul Hogan Show from Australia.
Yeah.
Which was actually really good.
Yeah. Where Crocodile Dundee came from as a character.
Yeah, and everybody said, "Oh, well, he came from nowhere." Oh, Paul Hogan came. Like, no, he didn't.
No.
He had a TV show. I saw it.
One of the characters he had. Yeah. Let's give this a shot.
He used to do that guy. He was like a biker, but he used to ride a skateboard. And he goes to the hospital to visit a guy. He gets the IV bag. No, this ain't no good. He pulls a beer out of his pocket, opens it, puts the IV in.
There we go.
See the guy in the bed. He just gives him the okay sign.
Yeah. I remember when he was on Tonight Show one time, and they're coming up was they'd done an ad for Survivor Australia or Survivor Outback, and he'd done some ads in the Crocodile Dundee thing. Snake doesn't taste like chicken, tastes like snake, But they asked about this place where it's actually a church camp where they're really at. It's not really that big a deal.
Oh, well, Paul Hogan Show actually ran for 11 years.
Yeah,
it was on a long ass time in Australia.
It was one thing I saw when I was in England, Anzacs, about the Australia-New Zealand Army Corps during World War I. And they start from the beginning of the war. They do Gallipoli and everything. But there's one scene where Hogan and another guy are in town, just sort of hanging out, and this British officers go, and people are popping salutes on him. He walks right by them. They don't do a thing. And he's like, "You there! Don't you salute in your arm, man?" And well, not much. And Hogan said, "Well, he used to. We kind of gave it up." And just turn and walk off, leaving the standing in a huff. Okay, there we are.
Oh, there's the guy. There's the character, Nigel. I don't know what his from Paul Hogan, the Paul Hogan Show. He has a German Army helmet on, a leather jacket.
Yeah.
And he rides a skateboard. See, it was all this great kind of weird television I used to watch.
Yeah. one thing I never quite understood for the home video release, but also just the reruns of Top Gear.
Oh yeah.
On the episode where they had Tom Cruise and
Cameron Diaz
at the start, at the end of that, actually, when it aired, there was a nice little tribute to Ayrton Senna.
Oh yeah, that was actually very
For some reason, they cut it from the rebroadcast and from the DVD.
Oh, they did.
It's on YouTube though, so it's available to do there. So if I ever.
That's kind of strange because usually that it can't be because Americans don't know who Ayrton Senna is.
It's like they don't know half the shit on the show anyway. So what's the difference?
What the hell's the difference exactly?
Yeah.
But still, it's
a British motoring show, I guarantee you. And half the people have never heard of a Ford Mondeo.
65%. Yeah, 65% of the cars they evaluate aren't sold in the U.S.
Yeah.
And that's what I always liked about it. You get to see stuff you don't normally see.
Yeah. Like, how often are you going to see a Fiat Panda over here? You never get that.
One of the things that I always took it when Fiat finally came back to the U.S. I was kind of took issue with it. They had one model, the 500. Okay, yeah, that was their backbone of the backbone of the fleet at the time. That was their base model. But you brought nothing else over.
Whoopsie. Okay, we're going to have to go for it. All right. I was debating whether or not to do that, but okay, I guess we're committed.
I mean, having been to Italy, there's a lot of other submodels. I mean, there's the Panda, there's the Punto, there's the Brava, there's the Tipo. I mean, there's a lot of other, like, what if people don't want a teeny little city car, You're offering them nothing else.
Oh, jeez. Fucking
Dodge Dart was rebadged as a Fiat and sold in Asia.
Yeah.
The Fiat Vaggio. The kid on... Do you remember the In-Betweeners? Did you ever see the In-Betweeners?
I remember the title. I don't think I ever watched it, though.
Well, okay. Well, one of the kids, actually, his father bought him a dinky little Fiat.
Yeah.
It was called a Hawaiian, but it was a Cinquecento 500. And the kids and his buddy was like, "Oh dear, is that a?" He goes, "Well, it may look like a little Fiat Cinquecento, but think of the possibilities." Oh dear, is that a tape deck? Dad, they don't even make tape decks anymore. They got vandalized by the mentally a tour group of mentally handicapped kids.
I remember the young ones apparently hit it big while I was, away from MTV for a while, so it kind of came on afterward. But
yeah, young ones actually was a pretty big thing.
One thing that when I was over there in England, they had done a little side thing, kind of a fake group called Bad News. Okay, I'm in trouble. Oh, jeez. Eminem's got his minigun. All right. Whoa, I'm dead. I'm fucking dead. I need some distance. Okay, at least I got that out of the way. Let's get back to the lobby, see what we got. But they did, it's kind of they're, I guess, attempted sort of a Spinal Tap thing, but the group was called Bad News. And they did a cover of Bohemian Rhapsody. Produced by Brian May. But it is, Mama! Oh, it's good. And the guitar, just bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got that out of the way. Let's I'm gonna go over here. So the rest of it's just extra stuff, and I really only got the two skins I'm concerned about. I got all this out. I just need that, so I can get another 100 out of that. And we don't know who's coming up for another 3 days. Okay. So I think I've done enough damage for 1 day on this one. And there's also apparently a big update coming, so. Alright. So we'll call that one. Oh, no Ninja Turtle game. That's one nice thing that when they did the Ninja Turtle collab in the game. I got all 4 turtles. And occasionally April, I got Shredder, and occasionally April and Splinter will show up in the item shop. It's just back of the main screen, so I'm not looking at the sign all the damn time.
I reviewed the one of those Ninja Turtle cartoons a few years ago. What the heck am I leaning on here? Oh, back scratcher.
Yeah.
And I just listen. I got no issue with making changes to making little tweaks around the edges, but yeah, I understand the amount. But at the same time, this is just bad.
Yeah, it's the current art. Did you guys? Are you deliberately trying to downgrade to the point where just like a drew it with a magic marker in the design thing and then CGI it?
I'm not a Ninja Turtles purist. Listen, I have a lot of the black and white comics. I really like them. There's people that like it a whole lot more than I do, and that's fine.
Yeah, first movie is basically retelling the first issue.
Yeah. My big thing is that I'm like, hey, this is really bad.
Yeah.
But
one thing when they reissued the movie version of action figures, I managed to get all 4 of them. No, they're still in the package. I couldn't remember if I had them or not. If they do, they're buried in storage. So okay, just make sure I get them. But I got the original issue somewhere. I think I might still have them. Lost a lot of stuff in the eviction purge.
Yeah, I can't stand the whole thing about it's for kids. I'm like, that doesn't mean it has to be bad.
No, this was originally intended as a spinoff of Daredevil.
Yeah, I mean it's a
because the idea with what happened to that radioactive canister that hit Matt Murdock in the face and splashed him. Well, the idea is it went down to the cell and into the sewer and caused these turtles. And Jim Shooter shot. That's too amateurish. I showed him. Sometimes amateurish works, especially in comic books.
I mean, the Ninja Clan's called the Foot, for God's sake.
Yeah, it's a direct on the hand. Okay. I think originally it was going to be the hand, but we got to change it. So just tweak Shooter's nose a bit, called the foot. That's one thing. Razorfist is the first Ninja Turtle movie. That's the one. Okay. Like it's also high praise for the Shadow movie. That's the one that of all the stuff to come out, that's the one that finally got the idea of what the Shadow's all about. It would help if Alec Baldwin took it a little more seriously. Wasn't quite hamming up for the camera quite so much, mugging itself. But otherwise, that's the Shadow.
The Shadow knows.
Yeah. I remember it was some kind of church thing. A bunch of us got recruited for the seniors group, but we got recruited to do an old time radio play live. And I don't know if it was my idea for the Shadow or somebody else suggested the Shadow, but long time before I gotten this album, this record, this 12-inch record of sort of when radio was king. One side is about all the news events that happened back in heyday of radio. And the other one is the dramas, the play, and one of them intro with the Shadow. And that's just kind of who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men. The Shadow knows.
I
got recruited on that, and I did the Shadow.
Yeah. I used to have an album actually that was one episode or two episodes, one episode per side, of the Lone Ranger as a radio drama,
Mm-hmm.
which I really liked. I loved listening to that.
Oh, they actually opened that side of the album with, by special recording, The Lone Ranger. And they intro, and the narrative pops in for a bit. Radio was the thing for, when you could do anything with youngsters or whatever, and when radio was king, and then continue. And even then, it still can be a fiery horse with the speed of light, the spotted us, and a hearty high old silver. The Lone Ranger rides again. It still kicks a note in here, Now that's actually a franchise. I don't think they could really do it anymore. The Lone Ranger.
Oh,
because the concept of the Western has just changed too damn much.
There's actually that's it. I think that's it. There's the Lone Ranger vinyl LP 72 original broadcast, Coca-Cola sponsored. I think that's it.
Yeah. It's like I don't think in a post Clint Eastwood world, I don't think
Well, I mean
it would just it's too much for the modern day audience to really go back to that kind of vision of a Western.
One of the things we actually the first ever live stream I was on with a certain other podcast, not going to say who.
Yeah.
One of the things we actually talked about was the death of the Western. Why do you think the Western died? I'm like, well, we kind of got so far removed from the Old West. I mean,
yeah.
The 30s, 40s, and 50s, there are people that were still alive that remembered those days.
Hell, Wyatt Earp was a technical consultant on the early films.
Exactly.
That's when he got out of law. He got out of being a lawman. He went to Hollywood and he started. In fact, John Wayne apparently met Wyatt Earp, and he kind of based a lot of his, his portrayal on him. So, So it's a pretty short leap. If you look at the timeline, he was alive to that point. It's like, he talked to Tom Mix and John Wayne back then, when he was still Mike Morrison.
When in the 20s, when in the and actually the 20s and 30s, when the radio drama first took off, I mean, there were still cowboys.
Yeah.
The Old West didn't technically end till the mid 1920s.
Yeah, it's like there were still there's still cowboys and ranchers out there, but it wasn't all horses. There was a few cars here and there. That's what, so the idea of Gene Autry, the running gag of he was a big, but also Kate and do a radio show, that wasn't that far fetched back then.
No.
The thing about coming in like gangbusters, it's a reference to the show Gangbusters, because the opening of the show is with a volley of machine gun fire. It's like, and now Nestle presents Gangbusters, Troy's a true crime, or whatever sponsor was.
Yeah. There was always the question of what happened to the Old West. I'm like, well, just check, the barbed wire fence, first of all.
Well, when you start fencing it in, it's no longer open range.
Yeah.
But it's like, Siskel and Ebert did a thing about Westerns, and they said, when a parody like Blazing Saddles hits it as big as it did, that means we've been laughing at it already all along. And this would finally just crystallize into, a big old parody like this. They had also sort of clip from Wrestler's Rhapsody, which is another attempted thing that one didn't do well. I think it was also because Blazing Saddles already popped that balloon. But it's like the last gasp for an old-fashioned type Western was really Silverado.
Yeah.
But even that touches those,
Well, there
still touches the modern Western in there, so that you can only go so far.
What was the there was the whole thing about like I said, the Western. The idea of the Western is obviously it was a license to print money.
Yeah.
At one point, but the idea of the Western is probably can still work, but it's I mean, that was kind of the whole subplot of Toy Story, is that hey, you have the the old cultural icons and the new ones. The new one been supplanting them.
You might know that Woody was actually really got the head of a franchise. It was a whole thing. He had a TV show and a whole cast of characters.
Yeah.
But
I don't understand. I don't. Yeah. Well, they're going to keep trying. They're going to keep trying.
No, yeah, they're going to, because it's a property. We do exploit it. One, how many people are still into the Lone Ranger enough that you're going to, because you pretty much have to reinvent it by this point. Have Gun Will Travel, I think, would have a better shot being brought back, because you have that darker edge with Paladin and stuff. It could work in a modern environment, modern Western mythos.
I mean, you could do something like a cowboy movie set in space, but not necessarily like 6 shooters and stuff like that.
It would be a space opera type thing.
Yeah. I mean, Star Wars is just westerns. I mean, that's what Jessica Lieber called it.
Well, that's really just an old-fashioned sword and sorcery type thing. But Firefly, really, there's that took the space western, made it almost literal. You had actual horses.
Yeah.
One point, Serenity's hauling cattle. Okay, so
Did you ever hear of Rogue Trooper?
I've heard the title, but
yeah, Rogue Trooper is a British comic. It was started in the comic book series 2000 AD. Yeah. Actually, that is a very good war story. But it's set in the future. There's there's a planet.
Listed alongside George Dredd, so
yeah. There's a planet set that's just positioned just on the other side of a black hole that's of strategic importance, and they're using chemical weapons. Also, and it's just ravaged the planet, and so.
Yeah, European view on it, because World War I, World War II, it's like, but it just happened over there. No, in England, it's like, that just happened right over just across over the block. Okay.
Right on the other side of the channel.
Yeah, it's like James May told me, that
Pardon.
A bomb went off where his favorite chip shop is now. Okay, so we went, when I was over there, spent a week in Germany. Because I know TD was a bunch of us got, because we were. Somehow it was like moving some tables from one building to another. I don't know why the hell we do, but okay. And it was an old German base from the war. And this was before everyone's wearing cameras. We're still just regular fatigues. And I'm getting some serious World War II, vibes. Walking around in this old style, military, and this old, just the feel. This is an old German base. Yeah. And it really got hammered home when we had, we're doing thing, and I think it was like the first sergeant there stopped by to say hi and think, welcome to our base, and we love to have you, like having you here, and find out the Luftwaffe air uniforms really haven't changed at all. The only thing missing was the Nazi war eagle. Otherwise, it's the same thing. It's like, okay, General Burkhalter showing up. Hi. He's a nice guy. He's a perfectly guy. It was just kind of weird. Because I'm getting a feeling like, only thing I'm missing is a Tommy gun and a helmet. Okay, it's like, Yaver's a nice little town, nice little village, in northern Germany. But there was a memorial of an oversized German helmet on a memorial that some war did. And I still have a sketchbook that I bought over there. I never ever really used it all. But it's like, I just, we got the day off that now, wander around to have a little German phrase book and trying to find play. I'm not finding, was into, I think, some kind of toy shop or whatever, and they had model kits there. And old World War II fighters. No swastika on the tail. At least not on the box art. That's kind of reminded. Yeah, it's a banned symbol in Germany. Okay. I didn't buy the model. I would have found out, because it may full well be on the decal sheet, but not on the box. And that's like, and also, kind of reminder. No, the Germans are actually a very fun-loving, nice people. It's the Austrians that are the assholes.
Yeah. Oh, brother.
That's why a certain little, psychotic paper hanger. It's like, no, he's from Austria. Okay. It's German. It's Germans without a lot of that sense of humor. Okay. Because they're so determined to be German. It's like, you kind of lost part of it. Why Germany at the time was decadent as all hell. Like,
oh yeah. First time I was actually was going to Europe. Vienna, Austria was on the short list of places potentially to go.
Yeah.
But I decided to go to Stockholm. 6 foot tall blonde women everywhere.
Oh yeah, that you'll see a few of them. A few big old tall German women's again. Maybe he had the right idea about a master race. He was onto something here.
Even my father.
Wow.
Even my father would say, you know what? I said, Dad, what did the Germans? You saw the Germans up close. He goes, oh, they were tall, good-looking people.
Yeah, not unfounded. Okay, he went too far, but he did. He had a point.
Yeah, my father was captured by them twice. He said they were all of them were tall, blonde, blue-eyed. It was he said it was incredible. I don't think that's saying anything that's already out of bounds. I mean,
like doesn't mean you got to enslave the entire race, but well, let's see. We're at about coming up on 2 hours here. I do want to play that tomorrow show though, but I don't do it off stream. It's a fun watch. So I've run it before on the stream, and it's like, and I got nailed. So we're not going to do it. But I think we've exhausted the topic online, so we will talk.